Welcome to APush for 5, your shortcut to mastering the AP U.S. history exam. Let's jump into Period 4, 1800 to 1848, where America transformed through democracy, reform, and growth. Question 1. Stimulus. Free black newspaper editorial, 1830s. We ask only what the Declaration promises: equality before the law. Question. This source most directly demonstrates: A. State efforts to enforce the Fugitive Slave Act of 1793 against Northern resistance. B. A split within abolitionism over whether women should participate publicly. C. A strategic shift toward colonization as the most pragmatic path. D. Black activism challenging racial inequality within free states. The correct answer is D. Black activism challenging racial inequality within free states. Free northern black communities organized presses and conventions demanding civil rights. They exposed the hypocrisy of free states. Question 2. Stimulus. Southern Plantation Ledger, 1830. Accounts list enslaved persons alongside livestock and crop values. Question. The document exemplifies: A. A transition toward wage labor for most plantation field hands. B. Integration into capitalist markets while maintaining slavery. C. Early mechanization that made enslaved labor marginal to profits. D. Reliance on protective tariffs to sustain staple exports. The correct answer is B. Integration into capitalist markets while maintaining slavery. Planters commodified enslaved people while participating in global markets. Capitalism thrived alongside coercion. Question 3. Stimulus. Illustration of slave auction, 1830s. Enslaved families are separated on the auction block. Question. Reformers used such images to: A. Build support for gradual manumission in Upper South legislatures. B. Elicit moral outrage to mobilize anti-slavery sentiment. C. Demonstrate the success of colonization as a humane path forward. D. Argue that plantation paternalism reduced family separation in practice. The correct answer is B. Elicit moral outrage to mobilize anti-slavery sentiment. Abolitionists used graphic imagery to awaken conscience and emotion, shifting the fight from policy to morality. Question 4. Stimulus. Excerpt from a Northern Sermon, 1842. Labor ennobles man, servitude degrades him. Question. This perspective reflects: A. Transcendentalist rejection of all institutions, including work discipline. B. A Southern religious synthesis casting slavery as biblical stewardship. C. Protestant moral arguments supporting the free labor system. D. Jacksonian hostility to banks as a moral critique of idleness. The correct answer is C. Protestant moral arguments supporting the free labor system. Ministers sanctified industriousness and condemned servitude as sin. Faith reinforced the free labor creed. Question 5. Stimulus. Speech of John Quincy Adams, 1836. Am I gagged in the people's house? Shall not truth be spoken here? Question. Adams's protest targeted: A. A Massachusetts statute penalizing pro-slavery speech in state courts. B. The Senate's refusal to ratify anti-slavery treaties with Britain. C. The Supreme Court's ruling that Congress lacked power over slavery in D.C. D. The rule preventing discussion of anti-slavery petitions in Congress. The correct answer is D. The rule preventing discussion of anti-slavery petitions in Congress. Adams opposed the House gag rule for silencing petitions and free expression, defending constitutional rights over convenience. Question 6. Stimulus. Editorial on the slave power conspiracy, 1840s. A grasping aristocracy of planters would rule the republic through bondage and fear? Question. This illustration reflects Northern fears that A. British abolitionism aimed to sabotage U.S. cotton by inflaming sectionalism. B. Enslaved people were organizing multi-state coordinated revolts. C. Free states conspired to erode federal sovereignty via nullification. D. Southern planters sought disproportionate control over national policy. The correct answer is D. Southern planters sought disproportionate control over national policy. Free soil activists accused planters of political dominance threatening democracy. Slave power defined the conflict as a political tyranny. Question 7. Stimulus. Letter from a Southern senator, 1836. The North grows arrogant. They preach liberty while denying us the fruits of our labor. Question. This letter most clearly reflects which development? A. Growing Southern belief that Northern criticism threatened regional honor and security. B. Efforts by Southern leaders to end the domestic slave trade voluntarily. C. Rising collaboration between Southern planters and Northern industrialists. D. Widespread Southern support for compensated emancipation. The correct answer is A. Growing Southern belief that Northern criticism threatened regional honor and security. Southern elites increasingly saw Northern anti-slavery agitation as an assault on their autonomy and way of life. This siege mentality hardened sectional identity and narrowed the space for compromise. Question 8. Stimulus. C chart. Question. Which conclusion is best supported by this data? A. Southern planters increasingly reinvested profits into infrastructure and manufacturing. B. Industrial growth in the South was beginning to rival Northern factories. C. The Southern economy remained regionally specialized and dependent on staple exports. D. Federal subsidies equalized economic development between regions. The correct answer is C. The Southern economy remained regionally specialized and dependent on staple exports. Cotton profits reinforced a single crop, export-oriented economy rather than diversified industrialization. This specialization widened interregional economic disparities. Question 9. Stimulus. Diary of a Northern Merchant, 1843. I have met men who denounce slavery as a sin and yet traffic daily in its produce. Question. This excerpt highlights what aspect of Northern society? A. A unified moral front against Southern political power. B. Universal rejection of slavery among the working class. C. The rapid decline of textile manufacturing due to abolitionist boycotts. D. The economic entanglement of Northern commerce with the Southern slave economy. The correct answer is D. The economic entanglement of Northern commerce with the Southern slave economy. Northern finance, shipping, and manufacturing profited from slave-grown cotton, revealing the moral paradox within a free labor economy. The excerpt underscores interdependence despite ideological conflict. Question 10. Stimulus. Speech by Frederick Douglass, 1847. The hypocrisy of this nation is black as its darkest crime. Question. Douglass's statement was primarily intended to A. Expose contradictions between American ideals and the continued existence of slavery. B. Support colonization to Africa as a means to end racial conflict. C. Endorse the Constitution as an inherently pro-slavery document. D. Encourage alliances with Southern moderates, favoring gradual reform. The correct answer is A. Expose contradictions between American ideals and the continued existence of slavery. Douglass yoked patriotic ideals to moral indictment, demanding the nation align practice with principle. His rhetoric blended reformist faith with radical critique to press for immediate change. Thanks for watching A Push for 5. Let us know in the comments which questions you liked the most. If today's practice helped you, tap like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss any future videos. And share this with a friend who's also aiming for that 5. If you want more hands-on learning or direct feedback, reach out directly. We'd love to help you take your prep to the next level. See you in the next video.